workshop, tools in hand. Balsa wood, we make a stand. Carving dreams from days gone by. Stunt hanger planes that touch the sky. Control lines tight, the engine hums. Crafting art where passion drums. Stunt hanger, flying high. Old world craft beneath the sky. Balsa wings we build with care. Stunt hanger, join us there.
Sorry about that. You caught me. Well, I'm just kind of straightening up here. Didn't have a whole lot on the agenda. As you know, I started working again and been kind of tired after work and other things going on. So I need to get back into the swing of at least, we'll have the Monday and Friday hangout and then 2 extra days. So we'll at least do 4 days a week on a stream. And I need to set a goal like I did last night. Hey Tony, we gotta save the month. That sure helped yesterday. Let me get this mat out of the way and we'll switch cameras, scrape off the table. I have to modify this. I think this is a Tempest, if I remember right. I'm not sure. I have to modify it because I'm not running a rear exhaust. I'm running the Tigers. I'll just dump this on the floor. Sweep it up afterwards. Okay. All right, let me switch camera views. There we are. Now I need to set a goal. Videos. Help me keep the channel alive. We've done so poorly over the last few months. It's unbelievable. Live. We need to go into this. And the goal will be 5. We'll never hit 10. 5 at 10. And we'll get an hour and a half, or we'll just make it an hour. And I haven't got the movie quite finished editing yet, but I'll get it edited and put up. I'm doing Howard Rush's bell crank geometry too. Let's see here. You pick TOPIC. You pick topic. Set a goal. Alrighty, there we go. Yep, Tony, I'm back to work. I'm working on motorcycles. Back to what I know best. get all this glue off of here so I don't get any dents in the fuselage. Yeah, it's a little different working on motorcycles now. The guy asked me how long has it been since I rode. I said about 10 years since I worked on motorcycles. That's about right. Been working for Jerry for the last 5, I guess. Not more than that. 7. I sure wish Jerry wouldn't have died. That was a good job. I didn't make a whole lot of money, but it was cool. Didn't have to deal with bikers. Bikers are babies. Okay, let's brush this off. Okay, here we go. Close enough. We'll get something done now. Let's see what I'm building here. I don't even know. Normally I build my own airplanes, and yeah, this is a Tempest. And I'm going to modify it, as always. Okay, so let's get the parts out. Wings done already. So there's that. And there's that. We need all that. This is nice. You know, everything being cut. I don't know if we're going to use this or not, but we'll see. Of course, I got this one for a PA. That's for a PA. This has got a crack in it. Cut that up for doublers. Let's see. One. Yeah, this is one that I drew out. That is one that I drew out. The doubler at the side. Gotta find all these parts. Okay, that should be enough to get started. Let's see. We want to raise it up. Yeah, times are tough, that's for sure. All right, all this is going to turn into a fuselage, I think. All right, so this, I believe, is a doubler. This is a fuselage side, or is this the doubler? This is the doubler here. But we're changing all this. What is this? This is the fuselage side. Okay, that goes like so. So we need to make two of them. And the doublers, no, we can't. Oh, we could use the doubler, but we'll just make some. This is the fuselage side. And this is a doubler. And this is a doubler. Okay, I better mark this out so I know what the hell I'm doing. Okay, I've always set my tank back into the wing. We're gonna have to notch the wing out. So the doublers need to come at least to here. Yeah, it's a little tight. Let's move it up a little bit. We'll leave us an eighth of an inch between the firewall and the bell crank. Not a 16th. Okay, that's where F2 goes here. F2, right there. All right, so this is the doubler. I guess we can, I don't need all that belly on there either. It'll be all right. It'll be all right. We want the doubler to go to here. Let's see where that comes. This is the fuselage side. And the doubler will go to here. No, we'll make it to here. That way it's easy to get on and off. Doubler goes there. Okay, this is a pipe. Doubler, I'm going to get a saw and saw that off. Let's see. The carbon molding is not finished yet. You guys don't like to watch it, so I've kind of slowed down on that. I'll get that project finished. I have so much to do. I can never die. There's just too much left to do. Okay, there's a half-ass doubler, but it's got to come down here. Going to come back this way, then down, and over. We can cut that off at the bottom. So we're going to raise that up. A little bit of belly off this thing. Because it's a non-piped airplane. Hey, thank you, Mike. That's one. You know, when I called for help on the forum, I spent all my money for the month getting that forum fixed. I think I took back $100. 3 small donations. Going out backwards. Okay, so now we're going to make a doubler. Let's see which one of these motor mounts are we going to use. Here is the engine. We're going to have 3/4 setback. I need a piece of 3/16. There it is. 3/16 on the top. Hope you guys understand the method to my madness. Probably not. We need 1/8 of an inch more. I guess I can just move this down 1/8. Thrust line had to be moved down 1/8, so this can sit up on there. We don't need to have that, so there's a way to do that. Here's this is 1/8 of an inch. You gotta take into account the metal motor mount pads. Of course, I've been using phenolic. Get all this. You know, when I watch everybody else build or whatever, they got an entirely different way of going about doing this stuff. And that's fine. This is just my way. And it's worked for 60 years. I don't see any immediate change coming in my future. Got fuel. Oh, that's that shit wood anyway, so it don't matter. That's alcohol. That's good then. I can't win. I got a plug handy. Close enough. I'll probably get the fuselage sides cut tonight. I probably won't get it all done. There we go. That's better. Do I need to move it forward an eighth? That's about it right there. Yep, we're in good shape. Okay. So let's mark this. Let's do it this way. I need a piece of wire. Got wire right here. I guess I could take this. I want this thing to fit perfect. So the doubler is going to go to right there. This is going to sit here. Goes right there. So we're going to go all the way up to that. Okay. Okay, I think I got the spot. Two, and I can't even read this scale. We'll just do it with metric. 10. So it's 10. 10. Get something I can read. That scale is terrible. It's 2. 2. Yeah. Been way off. This is the inboard doubler. Inboard doubler. We need two, but the other one's different. So if I do it like that, all the way out to there. Ruler wasn't quite long enough. So we'll cut one before I make a commitment to it. Make sure it's right. Can anybody guess what tonight is for dinner? It's my favorite. I get excited. Okay, there we got a doubler laid out. There's quite a bit of depth here. Why does it look like that? I know why. That angle's wrong. Because I need to capture more for the nose pin. Tell you what, if you don't keep up after this shit, you lose your skills. I should have had that figured right off the top. So we want to change that angle too. The thrust line is we need to cut that a little less too. That's too much. Well, probably a 16th. That's good enough. So we need to put this. We need to add that right there. So we need to come down. Okay, what happened to it? I knew that looked a little steep. It needs to be here. Off my memory. That's I might have to go in and get a fuselage, and the one that I already got made up. Make sure it's all right. Let me do that. I got a couple of sides that were abandoned. Yeah, they're abandoned because yeah. See, I built the fuselage. It's perfectly good to use, but it's wrong because I left out this tab right here for the muffler. Shit. A lot narrower. I know this one works, so we can use that. I'll just do my own fuselage and get the numbers the same. You know, I always try to break the cowl right there so that the needle valve, you don't have to unscrew the needle valve to install the engine. That way you can set your engine and replace it and not worry about having to needle the engine when you go back out. So let's, you know what, I think I might get a clean slate. Get too many lines on there, get confused. Make sure this is right. It's 100% right. You know, I could. This cut down this way. This needs to, yeah, we're going to use this setup. Let me cut this notch in here. This fuselage is perfectly good to use, but it's not perfect. You know, I'd have to glue on a piece right here, and I don't feel like doing that on an airplane. I'm going to try to make super nice. If that makes any sense. We can glue this piece on to get it right. Design on the fly. Okay. So we want it this thick with the wing that high. That's a high wing too, boy. So this is correct. So I already got the piece in there. Okay, where's that other piece? Where's that one? I cut that off. I don't need it that deep. It's not a piped airplane. There it is. It'll go quick once I get this figured out. I need to dig out my fuselage jig too. Okay, so we got that. We want that straight. We get another triangle here, bigger one, and we can use this square because we're going to go from the datum line. The guy I'm working for is asking me, "Are you talking to yourself?" Because I'm so used to doing these videos. Yep, I'm talking to myself. 1 3/4 inches. And that's what that is. If you look back at the last short I did, that's the shop I'm working in. Plenty of work to do. Okay. So I've taken 1/4 inch off the bottom, just too much guppy. Okay, let's cut the first piece of wood and see how it looks. So I had some blades in the box here. And I got the knife right there. I got a couple of kits to build too. I got a Skylark, a Southwick Skylark, and a Brodak Accentor. Or I can sell them. I thought about selling one of my Snap-on toolboxes. I got so many toolboxes in the garage, you can't hardly move. Hey, thank you. Let's see if we can't get them both posted up. Let's show that one. Oh. Show and show. No, can only show one at a time. So we'll show that one. From Mike Austin. Thank you very much, Mike. And we'll show this one. This is Ben R. Thank you for the super sticker. I wish I could find my small board. Maybe I'll just cut it on this plastic. Smaller. Yeah, we'll just cut it on this plastic. What's going to blow your mind is how I narfed this together with scarf joints. We're going to use part of the kit wood and part of my wood. I'm just changing the nose so that it accommodates a Super Tiger instead of a PA. Okay, so let's do this. What do I do with the knife? Get rid of this. The way. We don't need this. That's the blades. There's the handle. Let's get this off here. That looks like a sharp blade in there. This is where you got to be careful. I cut myself once on one of these long cuts. I put my finger up there like that and went right on through it. Not paying attention. No, okay, wait a minute. This was the fuselage side. Okay, we're not worried about that. We're worried about the doubler. Worry about the doubler. Thank you to all the guys who bought from my Amazon store. Amazon sent me a little kickback. Doesn't cost you anything. So it helps me out when you use my Amazon link. Not a lot, ain't going to get rich at it, but someday maybe if I get a gazillion subscribers. But every little bit helps. Okay, we got a doubler done. I think we're going to bend the nose on this too. I'm going to mold them in a little bit so them blocks don't have to be as thick. And the nice thing about doing that is when you sand through dissimilar materials, because the way that I build my noses is 1/8" balsa, 3/32 fuselage sides, sandwich carbon fiber. So when you start tapering the nose down, you're going through carbon fiber, or first you go through balsa, then carbon, then balsa, and then a block. So there's 3 lines for epoxy there. And invariably, sitting in the sun on the tarmac, when it's 100 degrees out at the Nationals, the dope shrinks and you can see that line. So anything you can do to eliminate that line will help you in appearance judging. Some guys dig them down and put superfill, and then I always fiberglass my nose. You know, the nose of my airplane's always fiberglass because that's where you handle it, and that's the first thing that when they walk up on your airplane that somebody sees is that nose. So anything to help eliminate any of that problem with the shrinkage on the nose would help. Now, if I painted my airplanes with urethane like some of the guys, urethane doesn't shrink, but it is heavy. So this here is right there. You see why it's important to I probably need to cut that back a little bit. Let's see, we got 1/8 of an inch. Shoot, I missed anyway. That's all right. Glue a little stick on there. You'll be fine. It'll be fine when I cut the side. Okay, so here's the doubler. Now we need a fuselage side, which is this one. So we need the piece that mates to that, which is here. And the doubler I just cut, which is here. Yeah, we're gonna taper up the bottom on this too. It's just too much of a guppy. All them piped airplanes look like guppies. I need to make a piece with this in the front and that shape in the back. Use the one that's cracked. This piece of wood had a wind check in it right in the center. So we'll cut the wind check out. Around. Just that way. We'll have to sand them straight once I get them cut. Okay, that'll work. That'll work. So we're going to add some to that because the needle valve didn't break in the right spot. There we go. And this goes here. I know it looks confusing, but it'll make sense here in a minute. My mind works a little different, that's all. Because I don't really want to waste that wood from the kit. And then once I get this glued to that piece, we're going to taper. I'm going to cut half the back of the airplane off in width because it's shit. This thing is 6 inches wide in the tail. That ain't no good. Let me make sure this is straight. Pretty good. Pretty good. Well, of course, block sand, all that stuff straight too. Okay, with that. Yeah, we've run more than an hour, but I want to get this at least one fuselage side glued together. Tomorrow I'll be online too. Don't know what time. Maybe probably during the day instead of night. I got to do a little bit of business in the morning, but we should be on by noon anyway. I get this fuselage built. When my old lady says it's dinner time, video's over. I'm eating spaghetti tonight. When I get these glued together, we're going to straighten the datum line too, the very top line across the whole fuselage, because I think Eric Rule is RSM is who cut these kits because their laser bed isn't long enough. They cut them so they glue them together. I always, when I scratch build, I always cut that piece out of one piece of wood. I mean, this works, but and I always cut right at the high point of my wing, and I separate the nose from the tail and put them together. I don't do that old school thing where they cut out the bottom of the airplane. What I think happens there after you glue it together and if you cut the bottom out of it, it warps the fuselage. It relieves the tension. The ligna pulls. So if you cut it top and bottom, it pulls equal. And the way that I do it, there's only a 1/4 of an inch seam in the fillet. So you superfill hides it real easy. You don't have any scarf joint under there that you can see. Because any joint that you can make, will shrink in the heat and you will be able to see it. Unless, of course, it's under superfill or fiberglass or something like that. Okay, so now we got a fuselage side. So this marries to this. I have to adjust it a little bit. Then I'm going to take a straight edge and I'm going to go from right here up about, I'm just going to go straight along the bottom. Raise that bottom up because it's way, way too fat back there. Thank you. Yo! I'm going to have to clean this bench off too before I laying this out because I'm going to have it flat. Got to have it flat. Gonna take some sanding to get that right. Of course, I don't know this. I guess it's a lighten up piece of wood after I sand the inside. Gonna take some adjustment. Guess I could adjust this top. There it is. Much more better. So I need that 4-footer on here. There's too much crap on the bench. Right there. Get all the way up. Take off a bunch of wood. Let's see how the doubler mates. So this is the fuse. And where's that doubler I cut? Okay, I give up. That ain't it. Where is that doubler? Of course, I could make another doubler come back all the way to here and scarf that, but it don't matter because we're only cutting a 1/4 inch out of there. There it is. You prick. Yeah. Should have made the bottom a little longer. I think I'll recut the doubler. To make up for that. And to run this joint back to here. This one's okay because it overlaps. We'll run this back to here. So I'll make another doubler. So there's a $10 mistake. Throw it on a pile and use it somewhere else. Everybody got a grip on what I'm doing there? Do I need to explain any more what's happening? How did I miss it? Inch and 7/8. That first doubler I cut it 1 3/4. It should have been 1 7/8. So the needle valve breaks at the exact corner. See, because it's 2 inches from the back of the spinner to the center line of the needle. Well, you're adding 1/8 of an inch nose ring, so that makes it 1 7/8 instead of 1 3/4. So I'll just cut a new doubler. And I also need to measure at the center of the trailing edge and the center of the leading edge. And you get a center line for the wing. So that's 1 5/16. Sure enough, 1 5/16. Hopefully it's the same up here. It is. Okay. This doesn't much matter this way because I'm going to make that datum straight, but as long as the measurements are close, it might be 10 thousandths off, so we won't worry about that. We're not building a watch. Let me tack glue this together. I need a piece of Teflon. I'm so glad I ordered this stuff. This is great shit here. So we're gonna have to clean up that line there. Where's my glue? I just ordered some more glue nozzles for these damn glue bottles. They always plug up. I got them coming tomorrow. I got a full bottle of CA, and you can't get nothing out of it because it's got a big globule inside it. No way, Jose. I mean to tell you, the guy who comes up with a non-clogging CA bottle will be rich. Okay, let's get a snorkel. Yeah, I did. I never thought about that. I'm talking to myself, working on the motorcycles, because I'm used to talking to myself in front of you guys. And he's wondering what the hell is going on. Who are you talking to? I said, yeah, the only guy who knows anything. That's what I told him. Well, that blue bottle is clogged up. Gonna be a pain in the ass. I need my odor flyer. Okay, let's try to get this opened up. I'm gonna run this right through my hand. I got a feeling. There we go. We got the booger. We got it. I'm working on Howard's bell crank video. He wanted to edit it, but I downloaded it and I figured that I can make him look really smart. Of course, he is pretty smart. What the hell? Why won't you come out now? Unbelievable. Yep, we got more tips coming. This is nonsense. I guess I could take a 16th-inch drill and drill that out. We'll get it out of there. God, it better come out now. It's got a huge hole in it. Okay, what did I do at the top? Well, I'll get another one, I guess. Oh, there it is. There it is. Okay. We got it now. Cooking with gas. Beautiful. Okay, we want to taper up the bottom of this thing so it's not a guppy. Straighten the datum out on the top. Hey, thank you, Roy. We made our quota tonight. That's good. Man, that's got a bend in it. We're gonna have to pull that back. Let me get my long straight edge out. Gotta make sure that's straight, or else it'll fly like a piece of crap. I'm gonna have to do some more sorting here. I just don't have enough damn room. I bet if I had a 60 by 60 aircraft hangar, there wouldn't be enough room. That thing's way out. Damn. Now we can cut it back. Bottom will be all right because we don't go off nothing off the bottom. We just go off the top. Cut it there and pull it in. And then recut the rib area. Paper's in the way. Fucking plans. There, there it is. I get one side done. At least I'll know where I stand. There. I don't need these stupid things anyway. What I was thinking. redesigning the thing, so it don't matter. I might have to cut this apart and reposition it because it's a 1/4 inch out. Quarter inch. You see that right there? 1/4 inch, no good. Yes, everything I do here goes on the forum. It helps keep Stunhanger alive. I don't know if you can see this or not, but I'll show you how much it's off. Let's hide this. It is, but you just take my word for it. It's 3/16 of an inch off, pointed down. That means the airplane would want to rise. We can't have that. So in order to straighten that out, we'll cut this joint here, move it back, cut that there. The thing that is tacked. There we go. See, that 10 thousandths that I was talking about, that's about what it is. There, 10 thousandths. So it'll be one blade thick, and then push it back. That should do it. But you gotta make it work, goes towards the forum, just to keep the damn thing alive. There we go. Let's cut that off too. Add it off. That's more better. Take a little off that. There we go. I think we need to take a little off of this. If it ain't right, don't keep going. I should have put it up on the ruler to begin with. So that's right now. It took a little adjusting. So this top line, which is represented by this ruler, is the datum that I talk about. And the datum is where you measure everything from. If this is bent here, if you got this going down and that going up or whatever, the airplane will never trim out. It will never fly right. So we need to sand a little more off of that. And it doesn't matter whether you're cutting it out of one piece of wood or piecing it together like this. It has to be straight. Okay. Okie dokie. So that looks good. That just burned the crap out of my finger. Ta-da! We got it. Okay, now you want to clean this line up a little bit. There it is, a little sliver. Now I want to cut all this crap off the back. This is the pipe tunnel. I don't need it. I'm going to turn this around because I'm right-handed. I'm going to come from right there. You know what? Let's do it from the landing gear. That way the landing gear sitting square to the datum. It is 10 inches back. Wait a minute. 12 inches back. Actually 12 and a half inches back, the back part of the landing gear. Twelve and a half inches back. Okay, that's where it's going to taper from, right there. And we're going to cut that out of there like that. Tempest without the pipe tunnel. It'll look a lot better too this way, more streamlined. There we go, we got one part done. Yes, indeed. Now it's just a matter of cutting another doubler. We'll cut it to this. I got plenty of 1/8 inch in that box, so I can use I can use this piece here, I suppose. Let's see here. This is this side, so we want it to go on like that. So that'll cover that. That's good. Okay, so it goes like that. At least I don't have to go out in the garage and mill down any maple. I've already done that job. I'd like to use that pen so you can distinguish between lines so I don't screw that up. Yep. Well, I'm going to show you another little thing that I do so that I don't screw up. Of course, sometimes it happens anyway. Now this is a carbon veil epoxy doubler system, just like Randy does. I like that method. It works good. So this is the outboard. This goes with this, or the inboard. So we put glue on here. And here we put glue. Oh, that broke loose. That way you don't get screwed up. I need some CA accelerator. P210, 2P10, whatever. It's on there now. Okay. So let's cut this open. And the bad thing is the other side is a similar shape, but different. Because you don't have the cutout for the muffler. And of course, I'll tape all these parts together and block sand them, make sure they're all equal. Hey, Frank, ain't seen you on in a while. Yeah. How's things with me? I had to go back to work. I think that's going to be my life's ambition. I don't think I'm ever going to be able to quit. Run out of money before the end of the month. Always. Planning your wedding. She ain't gonna. Your airplane days are over. Oh man, it's a good thing I caught this. I put glue on the outside. No good. The hell am I thinking? It's okay. It'll be fine. There, it's erased. Yep, your airplane days are done. You just don't know it yet. All right. Took me a lot longer than I thought it would take. It took an hour and 40 minutes to get one side done, but at least it's laid out. And everything will go smoothly from here, I think. I'm going to cut these ends up. Let's see here. We're going to do this and this. And I'll show you why and why I did it. Why I remade the doubler. Okay, this joint here overlaps that scarf joint there. And this overlaps this right here, even though I will take a saw and cut this fuselage right there and right there, the thinnest part of the fuselage, to take the front half off and the back half off. The only reason why I set this up like this is so that I can align it, so that I can make sure everything is straight. Otherwise, I could have just built the front half and the back half and then hopefully get it together straight. There was a pretty good catch that I caught that datum line was crooked, and it was only out maybe 10 thousandths, but 10 thousandths over here ended up 3/16 of an inch over here. No good. No good. Now, if it was an RC airplane, it wouldn't make much difference because it would have had some down thrust. And of course, you'd have had lift there. And then with an RC airplane, you got trim, trim. You can trim in your receiver to compensate for any goober mistakes you made. But with a control line airplane, there is no error. You make an error, you screwed up. So now I'll finish cutting the other pieces, and I'm going to tack glue these together, all 4 pieces, and then sand them so that they're all exactly the same. And I'm going to dig out my fuselage jig, and we'll put that together on the jig. When I was at John's, he had some blocks that he was making for a fuselage jig for a slider, and Barb said, "Do you want them?" I said, "Nah, they were too heavy." I should have took them because I got to make them now. I appreciate the super chats, and I'll be on tomorrow, like always. Monday night we'll have our hangout. I probably won't go on Tuesday night because I'll be tired because I work Tuesday. And then I'll do a Wednesday and then take Thursday off, and we'll do Friday night hangout. And then I'll do, I'm going to have to miss a couple of days a week. I've been doing 1 video a day every day for 10 years. There's almost 4,000 videos out there. That's 4,000 hours. I bet there's more than that because, some of these videos run on and on and on. All right. Thanks for watching. Thank you for the super chat. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share. And I will try to get the video out from Stuntflyer Video Magazine for you guys, just like I promised. But I'm juggling a lot of plates, spinning a lot of plates, and I'll get to it as soon as I can. All right. Fair winds, tight lines. We'll see you.
Workshop, tools in hand, balsa wood, we make a stand, carving dreams from days gone by, stunt hanger planes that touch the sky, control lines tight, the engine hums, crafting art where passion drums, stunt hanger, flying high, old world craft beneath the sky, balsa wings we build with care, stunt hanger, join